You may have already seen some of the videos that I've made about the Oracle Corporation, a company which was actually founded by a secret database project for the Central Intelligence Agency. Funny enough, this CIA project that introduced the founders of this corporation was codenamed Oracle. Even after the CIA project was declassified and the private company was founded, the Oracle Corporation owed its success during the early years mostly to government contracts. It seems as though the government will be able to call in their favors at any time. In my last video, I gave some background on how the Oracle Corporation has been working with the government, as well as big pharmaceutical companies and another software developer called Daylight. Oracle and Daylight have developed a system that is able to take the genome of a virus and then predict future mutations, or even reverse engineer a long extinct virus from a form of the virus that is its descendant. An example of this would be taking the genome from the third wave of the 1918 H1N1 virus, which they do have, and then working backwards, they would be able to generate the genome for the first wave of the 1918 pandemic, even if they had no sample for that. Then they would already have each future mutation for that virus mapped out, and they would be able to make it seem like it was mutating naturally, bit by planning the mutations, but the end result would be the third wave of the virus, which is already the sample that they started with. And we all know that the third wave of that virus killed millions. Now, we've already seen the novel form of H1N1, which was released in Mexico in April, already mutate in Europe. The D225G mutation has been confirmed in Ukraine and Norway. This is one of the mutations that made the 1918 virus so deadly, but it didn't occur until the second wave. Also, in my last video on Oracle, I gave my analysis which shows that the Oracle Corporation played a part in carrying out the September 11th attacks. They made the list of fake victims using the relational database software. Please watch that video for more information. You might not believe it, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Back to Oracle's development with chemical and biological database development. It's a well-documented fact that Oracle AI database tools in conjunction with Daylight software is able to map, predict, analyze, and prototype new or extinct viruses. Vaccine makers like Novartis gave lots of funding for the development of some of this software to help them design vaccines and predict which viruses will be dominant in the future. But that's only what they admit to using the programs for. I'll give a little recap on what Dr. Truott says in his article from August. Oracle AI not only has the ability to rapidly analyze gene-clade sequencing in viruses and bacteria in mere minutes, it can build a model of a complex new viral structure just as quickly, and can calculate to the minutest detail its possible drift of mutations after its release. This software can not only predict the death toll that the virus would produce, but also the accurate final numbers of its genetic mutations over a given period of time. In short, this software can indeed control a complex genocide agenda in the form of an engineered, worldwide, viral pandemic from beginning to end, alpha to omega. Evidence suggests that this agenda was indeed systematically set in motion in March of 2009. Then he continues, as powerful as the software system is, there are some limitations, however. The first limitation is that a sample of the killer virus is needed to be provided first so that all parameters of how and why it killed so efficiently could be determined by the computer. This is what happened when Jeff Taubenberger's team successfully isolated a completely intact sample of the 1918 killer virus from a frozen victim of the virus in Brevig, Alaska in 1997. With this sample, the computer could do its trillions of complex analyses. All that Taubenberger and Terence M. Tumpy needed to do was keep the CIA and Israeli Mossad bosses informed of the Oracle's final assessments and projections. Now he's talking about Jeffrey K. Taubenberger, who worked for the United States Armed Institute of Pathology, who took a mission to Alaska in 1997 to exhume bodies buried in 1918 to try and find the 1918 virus. This is confirmed here in this New York Times article entitled, Alaskan Victim of 1918 Flu Yields Sample of Killer Virus, printed February 8, 1998. A specimen of the influenza virus that killed 21 million people in the 1918 worldwide epidemic has been recovered from the frozen remains of a flu victim buried in Alaska. Researchers at the Armed Forces Institute of Pathology announced on Thursday that biopsy samples from a corpse exhumed from a cemetery in Brevig Mission, Alaska, contain genetic material from the flu. Experts have said that analyzing the genetic pattern of the 1918 virus will help scientists learn how it was able to kill so many people and will help them prepare vaccines against the virus if it resurfaces. But what they don't tell you is what kind of software they're going to be using to analyze this virus, to determine how it killed so quickly, how it killed so easily. Could it be Oracle AI in conjunction with Daylight? That's the only software that's able to do this. The only software in the world. And the other thing they don't tell you is that this wasn't Jeffrey K. Taubenberger's first trip to Alaska. They'd had 4 failed attempts already that year. This was the 5th attempt. He finally got lucky. But why all of a sudden in 1997 did they feel the burning urge to have this virus? Maybe because in 1997 they finally had the capabilities to fully analyze it. They finally had the software. While doing some research, I came up with a page on Daylight.com, the company that works directly with Oracle to make this software. This is actually their listed agenda for the Daylight Company's annual convention that they host, called Euromug. This is the 1998 agenda for that convention. It lists the Oracle Daylight collaboration venture and has some detailing info. What is interesting, however, is that I searched the agendas for the Daylight convention prior to 1998, and none of them had anything to do with Oracle. So 1998 was the first year that this product was ready to hit the market, but it's important to realize that this project had been under development for years and was probably in beta versions for the military use for at least a year. On the Euromug convention page, there's an article with blurbs from Dave Winninger of Daylight, Sam DeFazio of Oracle, and Alberto Gobi of Novartis, who all worked on this project together. It's entitled Daylight Oracle Chemistry Cartridge, a collaboration. Then it says, what are its capabilities? How are the capabilities delivered? Why is it needed? Let's take a look at the presentation from Alberto Gobi of Novartis. It's actually entitled Daylight Oracle Chemistry Cartridge, finally a chemical database. It's clear to see that before this project took place, this technology just did not exist. Now, to prove even more that this is a new product, let's look at that article from Alberto Gobi. It's not actually an article at all. It's a part of his PowerPoint. He says this is a marketing presentation. I have not yet seen the cartridge, but I will tell you about all the features. Everything sounds great. I will not tell you any delivery dates. I will not mention any prices. It's clear to see that this is a brand new development. Why do we need it? For data modeling, for application development, for database management. And of course, this presentation, remember, it's from 1998. I invite you to check out the Euromug convention agenda for any year prior. Just Google Euromug 96 or Euromug 97. You're not going to come up with anything having to do with Oracle. Now, I'm sure you heard me make the claim at the beginning of this video that Oracle actually started off not as a corporation or a company, but as a CIA secret project also codenamed Oracle. Moreover, after the company was founded, they only became successful because of government contracts. They still make billions off of taxpayers yearly. Here's some proof of that. Here's an article from the San Francisco Chronicle. It's on sfgate.com. It was published May 20th, 2002. It's entitled, Oracle's coziness with government goes back to its founding. Firm's growth sustained as niche established with federal and state agencies. Then the article says, long before Oracle became embroiled in a controversy over selling its software in Sacramento, the Redwood City software giant was building its reputation and its business on government contracts. From a Central Intelligence Agency deal that launched the firm 25 years ago to recent software contracts in Sacramento and Los Angeles, Oracle is no stranger to the halls of political power. The CIA was not just Oracle's first customer. Founded in May 1977, the firm's name came from a CIA project codenamed Oracle. Company co-founders Larry Ellison, Robert Miner, and Ed Oates worked on Project Oracle at a consulting firm before striking it out on their own. A quarter century later, close to a quarter of the company's revenue, $2.5 billion a year, still comes from selling software to federal, state, and local agencies. Oracle wouldn't exist if it weren't for government contracts, said Mike Wilson, author of the book The Difference Between God and Larry Ellison. Then, remember how I told you that Oracle actually played a part in helping 9/11 take place? Check this paragraph out. Oracle has thousands of sales and consulting workers focused exclusively on government work, and in the wake of September 11th, Oracle is counting on the heightened interest of staving off terrorism to boost its government ties even more. Oracle has been actively pitching software to local governments to create detailed digital maps that could be used to respond to attacks. In March, the company formed a partnership to focus on airport security. Ellison even offered to give the federal government software to help create a national ID to thwart terrorists. Now that actually confirms the Wikipedia article that I found about Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, where it claims that after September 11th, he offered to give the government software to create a national ID card, and this is covered in this Wired magazine article. The article is entitled "The Oracle of National ID Cards" from October 27, 2001. Larry Ellison was once the richest man in the world. Now in some quarters, he's on his way to become the most reviled. The Oracle chief executive's impassioned pleas for national ID card prompted one nonprofit group to dub him the privacy villain of the week, and conservative and libertarian activists are outraged. If you do any research on Larry Ellison, you'll discover he's the driving force behind Oracle. He fires boards of directors, he fires presidents, he takes over the position. Oracle is his life. He's worth $22 billion. But you know what, Larry? You can never buy salvation. You'll burn in hell.